Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be going over a Leetcode problem. 217 contains duplicate. So the idea for this one is that you have an array of nums, right? You have an array of integers, and you want to return true if any value appears at least twice in the array, and then return false if every element is distinct or unique. So for example, in example 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, none of these numbers are the same, right? So you'd return false. But then for this one, 1, 2, 3, 1, so 1 shows up at the beginning of the array and at the end of the array, so you're going to return true. So a common solution for this one is to run through the array using a for loop, but then have another for loop within that for loop to check if the first number matches this one, the next one, and then once you're done with that for loop, within the for loop itself, you move on to the second number, and then you check if 2 matches with 3, if 2 matches with 1, and then so on. You go to 3, and then if it matches with 1. So that could work, a nested for loop, but for when you're talking about time complexity, that's not like the most efficient solution. And when I was first solving this, I tried to do a nested for loop, and Leetcode didn't even let me turn it in, or like it didn't accept because it said like it took too long to run the code. So a good solution for this would be to somehow insert each number into a like structure where it doesn't take any duplicates, right? So you know if there are any duplicates present in the array. So what that structure is called a hash set. So basically, we're gonna insert each of these numbers into a hash set, and once they're in, we're just gonna check if the next number we're going to put in is already inside. So if we see that, okay, the number is already inside, so for example, we put the number 1 into a hash set, and then we check if the next number, so it's 1 as well, is already in the hash set, then we just return true. And the thing is, with a hash set, it doesn't allow duplicates, right? So if I were to just put all these numbers in this example into a hash set, 1 wouldn't show up 3 times, 3 wouldn't show up 3 times. All these numbers, it would just be 1, 3, 1, 3, 4, 2. So there won't be any duplicates. So yeah, that's the idea here. We're just going to be checking if the numbers are already in the hash set. If they are, then we're going to return true. We're just going to end it right there. But then if they're not, we're going to keep adding them because, they're unique, right? We don't need to worry about there being any duplicates. So first step is to just create a hash set. This will be an integer hash set. Okay. And yeah, it's really important to remember the syntax for these, but that's something a little more simpler that you can memorize. Okay, so we're just going to start with a for loop. And in this solution, the reason this solution works is because we're only using one for loop, right? So the other solution I mentioned before, it would take 2 for loops, and that would just be a nested for loop, which would be it would take too long to run the code. So so now what we're doing is, like I said, we're just going to check if the hash set contains the numbers we're going through, right? So we have our nums array. We're already going through it, like using I. We're starting at 0, the first integer, and then we're going to end it when we reach the end of the array, right? So there's a hash set method called contains. So hash set contains, and then we're just going to run through the I elements of the nums array. Okay, so if it contains the number, right? So when we're starting off, obviously there's nothing in the hash set, so this this if statement will obviously be false. But later on, once we're moving on through the array, then that will change obviously. So we're going to return true if this happens. Okay. So right now that won't happen, like I said, because it's the beginning of the array. But then if this doesn't happen, so else, we want to add them to the hash set like that. Okay. So yeah, this looks good. So we're gonna run through the numbers, and whenever you guys are doing this, it's always a good idea to, at least this is helpful for me, and I know it'll be helpful like interviews and stuff. But you gotta like run through it yourself. Don't just submit it. Like try to like work through it. So it's helpful to write this stuff down and then just uh, pretend like this is the input for the for the method, and then just run through it, see if it works out for yourself, and then you can submit it. So yeah, so and then we just need to return false if there are no duplicates, right? So if there are no duplicates, then this if statement won't even happen. So like there won't be any return for true, right? So whenever we're done with the whole array, this for loop will end, right? And then we'll just have to return false if this line of code does not execute. So let's just see if this works. Oh, okay, we have, forgot an equal sign. That was just a small error. Okay. Everything looks good. Hopefully. There you go. So, yeah, so this is successful. The runtime was fast. Yeah, that's just what we're looking for. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. See you next time.